Hi, I'm Alpha Trivette, and here's my 5-minute morning show. Going to start the clock right now to try to keep a little bit on time. You know, I've been going a little long, so I want to stop doing that. I want to say hey to Gabriel, too, this morning. Gabriel made a very nice comment because he watched the show for the first time and liked it and made a nice comment. If you watch it and like it or don't like it, or there's something you disagree with, or something you want to comment on, please do. I mean, who knows? And send me a video. I mean, who knows? You might even get on here. I mean, wouldn't that be your skyrocket to stardom, huh? I'm a little scruffy today because I can be, yeah. All right, let's talk about things going on in the world. I mean, yesterday, I don't know if you watched any of the footage of TV. I don't know if you watch news at all or not. But this stuff going on in Capitol Hill, the Senate grilling the guys from Goldman Sachs. Now, don't get me wrong. These guys needed to be grilled. I mean, what they did was pretty horrible. I mean, they made a lot of money, and I got nothing against making money. But the way they made money was pretty cheesy, pretty sleazy, but they don't corner the market on cheese and sleaze. The Senate's pretty good at that, too. And I think they have a lot of nerve really grilling somebody in such a self-righteous manner about ethics. I mean, come on. Look at your own ethics, for crying out loud, that never really get punished. And why isn't there a mechanism set up that we can grill you? I mean, I know ultimately we decide whether or not you keep your seat by our vote, but I think there ought to be a way that we can just call you on the carpet and hammer you with these questions. Like, when you were chairman of the finance committees or the House or Senate, why didn't you know Freddie, Boo Boo, and Fannie Pack were going crazy and making these toxic loans? Why weren't you aware of this? Oh, you were aware of this. Why didn't you do something about it? Maybe you deliberately caused this whole mortgage meltdown. Huh? I mean, they don't have to answer to anybody except the voters, and we tend to be apathetic around November and not care and just put the same old fat slob right back in there. It's time we stopped. Oh, and by the way, while all this was going on, the Goldman Sachs hearings and everybody being so self-righteous and indignant about Wall Street, Chuck Schumer, senator from New York, was holding a fundraiser for Harry Reid, the Senate Majority Leader. And for whom were they holding this fundraiser? Wall Street executives. Okay. Speaking of Harry Reid, he says next on the agenda he's going to really push for and make sure they get it in by the end of the year, immigration reform and climate change reform. All right, well, that's going to cost us a bunch more money. While we got this panel right now trying to figure out how to cut the deficit, and they say everything's on the table, including the health care bill, they want to do something that will definitely cause our taxes to increase. I mean, it's going to cost us more for any sort of new immigration control. Janet Napolitano says, why don't we send these drones over the border? Okay, what are they going to do? Take pictures? Shoot them? I mean, what? And I got to ask, if you're in the country illegally, all right, you took a risk, right? You took a risk by entering the country illegally. You're here breaking the law. If we catch you breaking the law, shouldn't there be some consequences? What are we supposed to do? Nothing? I mean, according to this law in Arizona, what they can do is if you run a red light, or if your if your turn signal is not working, or if there's some reason they can pull you over, the same as they would do to me, they would ask you for identification. If my identification was improper or invalid, I'd have to pay the consequences, right? So if your identification or documentation is improper, shouldn't you have to pay the price here? I mean, you cannot deny that there is a problem with illegal aliens, okay? Undocumented people, whatever you want to call them. LAPD reports that 95% of outstanding murder warrants are for people who are in the country illegally. You can't let that go on, can you? You can't support that kind of thing. We cannot allow that to keep going. And climate control. Oh, for crying out loud, these people. By his own admission, Barack Obama said that if we institute his plan for climate reform, that electric rates will, quote, I'm quoting here, will necessarily skyrocket. Really? Necessarily skyrocket? I don't want my electric rates skyrocketing, do you? And the hypocrisy of this thing, because now the administration is going to propose putting these wind turbines off of the coast of Massachusetts, but guess who's against it? One of the Kennedy clan, who's a huge environmentalist. They want to promote alternative sources of energy, solar and wind, but put them right off Cape Cod? No way! What are you, crazy? They say it's going to cost too much, but anything you do that's going to be an alternative is going to cost some money, so what do we do about it? They say it's going to kill birds. Millions of birds are killed every year slamming into buildings because they see their reflections in a window. What are we supposed to do? Start some federal education program for birds telling them don't slam into the windows when you see your own reflection? All right. I've run out of time. Didn't want to mention that Sandra Bullock is kicking that dirt bag of hers to the curb, and at the same time she got a new baby boy. She adopted one. How do you get a baby that fast? I guess it pays to be a big star with lots of money. I don't know. Oh, the answer to the brain stretcher? It's those floppy disks, plastic floppy disks. 47 million a year were once sold. Now they're getting rid of them. Sony's not going to have them anymore. So that's it. Everything's becoming obsolete. Maybe even us, huh? That's my 5-minute morning show. See you next time.